The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Well, that beat was dropping this morning. I may have had the audio a little bit too hot for you. Apologies. Welcome to WAFB Plus and 9 News Now every morning, Monday through Friday anyway. 9:15, going to step you through some of the top headlines. Hopefully you had a pretty good weekend, right? The temperature was good, the weather was great, and actually if you step out right now, it's not too bad at all. Skies mostly clear around here, and the temperature, let me show you what you're dealing with right now, 59 degrees in Baton Rouge, 56 in New Roads. Now look, that New Roads was like 40, like 39 earlier this morning. So it is warming up. The sun has come up. It is warming up, but a cool start in South Louisiana. Let me give you a look at the 10-day forecast as you try to figure that out as well. You can kind of get an idea of what we're heading towards. The lows begin to warm up a little as you get towards midweek. Look at the 59, so call that 60. But the highs pretty much stay very, very similar to one another. A little bit of something on Thursday to rain to get through, and then a front comes through there that Steve was talking about. The temperatures will be kind of slow to react to that front. The front comes through, and then it's a number of hours later that those temperatures begin to drop. But look at the start. Look at the Saturday, Sunday low, 40 degrees. Already looking towards that weekend, and why not? Hopefully you got a chance to enjoy this past one. Looks like another decent one on the way. Okay, the headline beyond the forecast as you kind of get going on a Monday morning, it's this right here. We kind of knew it would be, right? The end of last week, everything getting approved from the FDA, the CDC, a new age group for COVID vaccines, age 5 to 11. And so then the vaccines start to roll out. It's just a matter of time before providers and all the states begin to get those doses in and then get them into the arms of the 5 to 11s all throughout their state. In Louisiana, that is truly beginning to happen this week. You did have some Friday over the weekend that had doses coming in, but it is really this week when we are expecting to get the nearly 150,000 doses of this initial shipment, this first shipment coming in a few waves over the next week or so, going to 450 providers, including a bunch right here in South Louisiana, Baton Rouge part of the world. But now it begins for a lot of parents who were very concerned about their younger children. You had a larger number of cases, certainly with the Delta surge, that became pediatric, who were impacting, the COVID was impacting those younger kids. Now, a lot of parents taking advantage of this new age group. But that is going to be the headline this week for a lot of folks as the vaccine comes in, able to make those appointments. We'll keep you updated as you move along. So that's one of the big COVID headlines. This is the other one, though. We've been talking about the vaccine mandate coming from the Biden administration, looking to enforce that come early January, right? You knew there was going to be some legal moves with that, and there have been. And now this one, you got an appeals court halting the COVID vaccine mandate for larger businesses. And it's an appeals court based right here in Louisiana. So that has now halted it for the entire country. Now, the White House has until the end of today to respond to that, to move forward with this. You can obviously count on that happening. So what is the next step in legality with all this? This back and forth is only probably just beginning, truly. It would be January 4th if this were to go through the process and the courts were to ultimately deem it legal. This would be enforced beginning January 4th. The idea with the lawsuits, obviously, to prevent that from happening. We'll see what happens. There's still a ways to go. Also in the world right now, did you early vote last week for the November 13th election? About 123,000 of you did. So already thank you to those getting out there and being a part of the process. Coming up this week, a deadline. Actually tomorrow, to request an absentee ballot. So if that's going to be your route for voting, know that the deadline is tomorrow. You can do that, Secretary of State. You can actually do that at your Register of Voters, headquarters where you go to vote. You can actually go do that. Absentee ballot. If that's the way you're going to be doing it, you need to make sure you get that by tomorrow, and then you have to have it turned back in, filled out, and good to go on November 12th, which would be, of course, that Friday, the day before Election Day, which is right around the corner. So deadlines are approaching, and if absentee ballot is going to be your thing, make sure you jump on that and do it today. Why wait, obviously, until tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, our Kelly Hubbard is going to be talking restaurants. Why? Well, there's actually, with Citigroup Hospitality, they run a half a dozen or so restaurants in the area, and they're going to be having their own kind of restaurant week, so to speak. It's not like the big one back in July. It's a different kind of version, but still it is a week filled with going out to restaurants, and then giving back to great causes. And so Callie's going to be out there tomorrow. It actually began today. This version of Restaurant Week began today, but Callie's going to be talking a little bit about it tomorrow. So if you're interested on where to go, I'll give you a sneak peek. A few places like City Pork, Beausoleil, a bunch of City Porks, actually all the places, City Slice, City Taco, all those. That is the group of restaurants kind of run by City Group Hospitality, but they're getting involved in giving back some of the proceeds during a week-long event in Baton Rouge. We'll tell you more about it tomorrow on 9 News this morning. Okay, how you doing, football fans? Yeah, I know. It's a rough week. That Saints game, I mean, that about did me in after the Saturday that was. Obviously, we saw the Saints couldn't do anything for 3 quarters of football, and then within 7 minutes, come all the way back on the Falcons. They take the lead, and then only to have, well, you know what happened, a last-minute field goal after a bust on defense. So they lose to their rivals, and that actually was after the Saturday evening games, one in Tuscaloosa, one here in Baton Rouge, that saw the Baton Rouge schools lose to some rivals. Obviously, LSU did a little bit better, I would say, than a lot of folks thought they were going to do against Alabama. Actually had some opportunities to pull ahead and potentially win it at the back end. They could not find the end zone. Their defense certainly showed up, made Bama work for that win, that's for sure. But a lot closer, I think, than anybody anticipated. As for Southern, taking on FAMU up on the bluff, one of the best teams in the SWAC, and the Jags were holding their own, actually had the lead for a while there in the second quarter, but lost the lead going into the half, and they didn't score again in the second half, so they end up losing to FAMU. What do they get as a reward for that? Arguably the best team in the SWAC showing up next weekend, Jackson State. Jackson State, those sets of Tigers, are allowing the fewest points in the SWAC this year. So it's a tough test to come for the Jags. And then after that, of course, it's going to be Grambling. So Saints lose, LSU loses, and then the Jags lose as well. And oh, by the way, if we're just going by all the teams that wear the gold, the green and gold, Southeastern loses as well to Incarnate Word. Now, if you haven't seen the statistics on this one, go look it up. It's ridiculous. The two teams combined for nearly 1,500 yards of total offense. Both the passing games go for more than 600 yards. It's like they forgot to bring the defense. It's like, we only got limited space on the bus and in the locker room. Just bring the offense and let's see what happens. Ridiculous. But Southeastern lost as well. So anybody in the area wearing gold had some problems over the weekend. All that right here. Maybe next weekend will be better. Saints taking on the Tennessee Titans, I don't know. We'll see. That's a good squad. LSU taking on Arkansas Razorbacks at home, we'll see. Southern, again, taking on Jackson State. A lot to get to. This is where we try to lay it all out for you, depending on if you have time to watch the big show or not. WAFB Plus, putting this little micro newscast in a lot of locations for you so you can watch it if you like on your own time. Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, of course the YouTubes as well. We'll do this every morning, Monday through Friday for you at 9:15. Now, as you go through this week, the forecast, again, may be the headline maker. I'll show you that 10-day so you can get one last look at it. You can see the starts. It's going to be kind of chilly, certainly tomorrow. And then look at the kind of warm-up for the lows over the next few days. Look at that, that's nearly a 60-degree Wednesday into Thursday. And then a front comes through on Friday, and you can see those temperatures dip down again, certainly the lows. And even the highs hanging out in the 60s. But the takeaway is, even with that Thursday chance at rain, the takeaway is it is really a great-looking forecast. And it may be what's shaping up to be the third weekend in a row that's really looking pretty good. Just put on a coat and enjoy fall temperatures here in South Louisiana. I think we'll probably take every bit of that. Until next time, we'll see you right here tomorrow, 9:15 for WAFB Plus and 9 News Now. Check out the website, WAFB.com, the 9 News app for up-to-date as you get going on your Monday. And, of course, join us in the big show, the big studio for 9 News at noon. Y'all